Welcome back to Legend Stories. Today we will see a real story which is unexplained as to what really happened. To this day the mystery stands. In the winter of 1959, 9 skilled hikers vanished into the frozen wilderness of Russia's Ural Mountains. Weeks later, rescuers uncovered a scene that defied logic: a tent slashed open from inside, frozen bodies scattered in the snow, and a mystery that still haunts the mountains today. So, let's start today's story.
Orange light on the dark mountain. Inside, it smelled like smoke and wet clothes. Victor fixed the small stove while Zoya hummed a song. She looked at a map of their path. Outside, the wind was very loud, but they felt safe inside the thin walls. Suddenly, Zoya stopped singing. A low shaking started in the frozen ground. It was a deep vibration that they felt in their bones. The metal cups began to rattle. Mikhail looked up from his boots. His face was white. It was not the wind. It was a pulse, like a giant heart beating under the mountain. The hikers were filled with fear. The shaking became a loud roar under their feet. Logic was gone. Victor did not try to use the zipper on the tent door. He took his knife and cut a big hole in the side of the tent. "Run!" he shouted over the noise. "Get out before it takes us." They ran out into the freezing night. It was 30 degrees below zero. 9 shadows ran across the bright snow. Zoya and Mikhail ran toward the trees. They had no shoes on their feet. Behind them, the tent was empty, but the ground made a sound like it was hungry. They reached the edge of the woods and hid under a giant tree. Victor tried to count his friends, but his hands shook from the cold. The shaking was quieter here, but it was not gone. It moved through the roots of the tree. Something was following them from under the ice. "We must make a fire," Mikhail whispered. His voice was weak. The cold was turning his fingers black. He and Zoya tried to pull branches from the tree. Above them, the heavy branches moved. It was not the wind. Something was sitting in the tree, moving with the same pulse from the ground. Many weeks later, a rescue team arrived on the mountain. Boris looked at the empty tent. It was half buried in snow and had been cut open from the inside. Arvid found footprints. The tracks of 9 people led away in a straight line, but then they vanished into the white snow. Further down the hill, they found the first hikers near the big tree. Arvid knelt by 2 men. They were frozen solid in the snow. There were no signs of a fight or any animals. Their clothes were gone. It looked like they had tried to take off their clothes before they died. Boris looked in a deep hole further in the woods. He found the rest of the hikers, including Zoya. Their bodies were badly hurt on the inside, with broken bones, but their skin had no bruises. When he moved Zoya, he stepped back. Her mouth was open, and her tongue was missing. High on the rocks, a shadow watched the men carry the bodies away. It was a ripple in the ice that did not belong to a rock or a tree. It was the lurker under the snow. It was happy now because it had taken 9 lives. As the men left, the mountain became quiet and the shaking turned into a whisper.
Thank you for listening to the story. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to subscribe and show your support to the channel.